Hi, friends. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Happy midweek. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy time zone wherever you are. And I hope the weather is treating you okay. Hi, Jesse. Hello, Hellcat. How is your week going so far? I hope it's going okay and not too intense. Here in BC, it is nice out. It's sunny. It's kind of warm. But it should warm up by the afternoon. So I'm kind of looking forward to, just being outside and enjoying the sun and having some fun. It was raining last night here, Jesse. Yeah, we've had lots of rain here. Um, Also heard, heat waves and storms brewing in certain places and stuff. So hopefully you're keeping safe. If you are dealing with some weather turbulence, if it's really cold, remember wear layers. If it's really hot, take off those layers and try and stay warm or stay cool. It's warm? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I'll take the warmth, I'll take the sun, I'll take spring vibes. Seems like we're kind of shifting into summer a little bit too, depending on where you are, but spring is one of those like in between seasons that you either just have a longer winter or, you have an early summer in terms of heat and humidity and things like that. So, not always fun, but we are going to have fun today. If you missed my stream on Monday, you can catch the VOD or the replay on YouTube as well. And I did a little bit of drawing practice. So I drew tulips based on a reference photo that I had taken at Butchart Gardens in Victoria, BC. So, so beautiful there. Such great botanicals, plants, flowers, trees. Super, super cool. Yeah, I like taking photos of things and trying to draw it later. And trying to sort of relive the memories as well, right? It's part of nostalgia, where you experience something, you take a photo of it, and then you try and sort of recreate what you saw, how you sort of felt in the moment, and your experience in general. And so that was really fun. And what else? So I'm streaming today. I will also I'll be back on Monday. So next week is going to be kind of regular schedules in terms of streaming Monday and Wednesday. I think on the Monday, I was thinking today of perhaps doing a currently inked spread. But it turns out that I had two packages land in my mailbox yesterday, and so I didn't really have time to unbox. I kind of looked at things, took things out of the box, but I wanted to unpack and unbox, but also kind of explore and look at all the things I got. So we'll do it on stream. We'll do it together, and we'll kind of explore things. Yeah, and so currently inked I'll probably do next week, which I try and do once a month at least. So probably on the Monday. And if you join me on the Monday, I'll give you a closer look at the Scriven Pen Show, which is a Montreal pen show. I'll show you the show ink. We'll kind of explore it a little bit, paint with it, and have some fun. It's a great ink. I did share it in my on my Instagram feed. So if you follow me on Instagram at From Corolla, you probably would have seen it. But I kind of like that color, so it was really fun to explore it. Hi, Archeo Pen. Sorry to have missed Monday. I had to go to the office. Then you had a monster migraine. Oh, those are not fun. Those are not fun. I tend to have like headaches and migraines with the changing of seasons, especially if it's, high pressure, things happening weather-wise. And I can tell you, it is not fun. So I feel for you, friend. What color ink? Well, you'll have to check out my Instagram or you'll have to be here on Monday. But in general, it's a red-brown color. It's a very nice color. It went from 60 degrees to 90 degrees. That's quite a jump. So no wonder, right? I don't know what is happening with weather patterns, but there's been a lot of sort of ups and downs as well. We kind of had a heat wave last weekend, and kind of leading into the weekend, and then temperatures just kind of dropped. And so, kind of went from wearing t-shirts and shorts and just sweating all day to having to take out, our hoodies and sweaters and layering up again. So it's been interesting. It's been interesting. It's not a new thing here. Canadian weather is, up and down in general. So it's not new, but I find that it's kind of hard sometimes to adjust when it jumps, from hot to cold to rainy to sunny to whatever. And you're kind of like, what do I do? Am I shoveling snow or am I sitting on the beach today? I don't know. Yeah. So hopefully it sort of calms down and it balances out. But we'll stay indoors, try and stay cool or warm. And we'll talk stationery. So yeah, let me know, drop in the chat if, you're using something that you're really excited about, or if there's an ink that you've been really liking. We can take a look at things, online. We could look at swatches. We could, look at things. But what I wanted to do is go through some things that I got. So I got a package from Tom's Studio. I ordered a few things a couple of weeks ago when they had a 20% off sale on different things. But I thought that was like the best opportunity to pick up things that I've been really curious about and eyeing. But it's always good when there's a discount or some sort of incentive and you're like, let's just get more things. So that's what I did. Tsuki, how's it going? A Kebi. No, I did not get a Kebi. Not from Tom's Studio and not from Stationery Selection, which is also where I did some buying. Stationery Selection is based in Japan, and it's run by Mitz, and they have great stuff. Like, that's a general statement, but they have some really, really cool things. They also have a monthly subscription box. And while I don't tend to sign up for a subscription box, especially if I don't know what's in it, I personally I'm not one of those people that really enjoy the surprise of stationery if I'm not going to use it. And so if I know what's in it, then I'm more likely to buy it, after the fact, or, buy certain things that came in the box. But one of the things that Stationery Selection does is after their monthly box goes out, they do share afterwards, what's in it. And you can pick up those boxes after they're released. Just, one box at a time kind of thing without having to be tied down to a subscription. So you can just buy, whatever month you like the content of the box, in other words. So anyways, Stationery Selection had an incentive a week and a half ago or last week. And it was just free worldwide shipping if you purchased a certain amount or over a certain amount. And so, yes, I got the free shipping because I was eyeing a few things, but I also got more than I probably needed, but it's okay. They're all cool things. I'm really excited to go through them. So we'll do it together. You found a vintage Pilot. The body is kind of unrepairable. The nib is great. Did you buy it? Did you get it? Because of the nib? Because, yeah, a vintage Pilot nib probably would get that. Okay, so let's go through Tom's Studio stuff first. let me just move some things. And try not to make too much noise. Okay, as I drop things. So Tom Studio, you got a €5? Oh my, of course you got it. Tom Studio, anytime you order something from them, they include a tea. So just, you know, whatever tea they're sort of throwing into orders, and that changes every now and then. And so this one I haven't tried. It's called popcorn tea. So I'm kind of excited to try this. A tasty blend of English breakfast tea with notes of toasted brown rice for a playful Japanese twist. So I thought that was very, very cool. And it's so... Tom Studio is based in the UK, so it's very British, I think. It's also very cool because this is probably the only stationery shop that I've come across that includes tea in their orders, or their Happy Mail, I guess. And the tea is Sri Lankan black tea. So my background is Sri Lankan. And so anytime I kind of see that tie-in, I always think that's really, really, really cool. Sri Lankan tea is amazing. Just so you know, too, if you weren't aware. Found the sample. Is a nice color. Yeah, it is. It is very nice. Hi, Fuzzy Turnip. How's it going? So the reason why I wanted to get something from Tom Studio is because I've been curious about their new refillable highlighters called Ori. And so it kind of helped that they did have a discount for these highlighters. But if you haven't seen them, they are basically, they're their newest release. And they're basically kind of like similar to their Lumos, which is a refillable pen. And you can change out the tips to be fine liner tips or chisel tips, brush tips, etc. And you can fill them with fountain pen ink, and they're refillable. So, you know, they use a reservoir that once it's dry, you can re-ink up with the same ink, or you can flush them out, rinse them, and fill them up with a different ink. And so that similar sort of system and tool they've used to create these Ori highlighters. And I've seen, you know, a few unboxings and a few people share about them, and I thought they're really cool. I don't know if I didn't really need refillable highlighters. I have highlighters I can use, but curiosity got the better of me. So I wanted to try them out, test out the highlighter inks as well, because they seem very cool. They are fountain pen inks that are fluorescent. So basically highlighter inks. And you can either get this in one single sort of use pen, or you can get these where it's double tip, so duo tip, and you can get either 2 pens in a set or 3 pens. And I thought 3 is a bit much, but 2 I can do. And you can choose between green, blue, pink, purple, and yellow, orange. And so I tend to go with blues, and I like the pink purple combo. So yes, new goodies, Fuzzy Turnip. I don't do unboxings on my stream, mostly because I don't tend to order a bunch of things. So, you know, if I buy things, it's usually like a few things at a time. But I had 2 Happy Mail packages come through yesterday, and I thought, you know what? I'll just open everything on stream and take a look at things, and we'll just kind of hang out and chat about stationery. So that's what I wanted to do. The other thing I wanted to mention was, if you did miss the sale that Tom Studio had, I think they do it every now and then. So you could be like me and kind of wait for the next 20% off sale or whatever, and pick up, you know, all the things that you want. Or you can use, I do have a discount code with them that gives you 10% off. and an affiliate link. So I think if you use this link, it should just populate the code in checkout. Otherwise, if not, my code is from Corolla, so you can pop that in there, and at least you get 10% off. I'm a big fan of discounts, and also supporting creators and, you know, people who spend time sharing about tools and stuff, so I can, you know, I can decide whether or not I want to try it out too. So check that out if you're interested. If not, no big deal. We'll look at the stuff together anyways. Here are the photos. You screwed up with the white balance. That's okay. Oh yeah. Tatcha golden wheat. That's very cool. And KWZ honey. That's nice. That's a nice ink. You also have really good writing. I want to call you Spicy, but I'm gonna stick to your new name, Suki. But you have great writing. That looks really good. Which one of the two do you prefer? Golden wheat? Very cool. Thanks for sharing. You're gonna unbox a Sailor Akebi in the future. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, I know you're poking fun. I think we're just having fun with it, for sure. People like what they like. I didn't say I didn't like Akebi, but I do like poking fun at you for me not having Akebi. And now it's kind of like a running joke that I'm never going to get Akebi. Which, you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay, so let's see. I think we can... I think this thing actually pops out. Yeah. So this you can pop out, and then it includes information on how to fill up, how to refill, tips, etc. You know, because if you've never tried their Lumos or one of their other refillable pens, it's good to kind of take a look at how you fill them up, etc. So it's kind of good to know. So we have blue, green, pink and purple. Then we have the inks, which I wanted to swatch regardless, just to see. So you have, depending on the pens that you choose, actually, let me show you on the site. Okay, so this is the Tom Studio website, and this is the Ori highlighters, infinitely refillable highlighters. So you could get the one pen or one highlighter, the two, or the three, and these are the three color options. So you have the blue green, which I got, you have the yellow orange, which I didn't get, and you have the pink purple, which I got. And so depending on which of the pens you pick, you get the corresponding, you get the corresponding ink colors. I don't know, somewhere they'll show them. So yeah, so if you got the yellow and orange, you get the yellow and orange inks, which I didn't get because I didn't get the yellow and orange pens. Which, you know, is fine because I have yellow highlighters. So I wanted to try out some of the cool colors, or some of the other colors. They're all cool, but I wanted to try out some of the other colors So you get the green, blue, for the green, blue pen. And they are fluoro inks, so they are highlighter inks. So very, very cool. Let's put that aside. Okay. So with these, let's put that there. With the highlighters, you also get this cute little package that says bits and bobs. And so these are useful little things that, useful little thing, mostly. This is a silicone gripper. And so when you're changing out the tips, especially if you already ink them up, right? You know your hands are going to get your fingers are going to get messy. They're going to get ink on them, which is fine. As fountain pen users, we're kind of used to that. But, you know, if you wanted to change out the tips and you didn't really want to deal with highlighter ink on your fingers, this is really useful. So don't throw that out. The other thing I thought was really cool that I saw that they did is they include this little sticker label sheet. And it's basically just to swatch the ink that you're going to use in each of your tips. And then on the top of the cap, there's a little bit of an indentation where you can fit that sticker label. And so if you aren't going to use the corresponding colors with your pen, which is fine, you can use, we know that there are highlighter inks out there. So if you wanted to use something like that in one of these refillable pens, you can. And I really like that you can swatch it and include that as your sort of pen tip or pen cap. So that's it. Very useful stuff, bits and bobs. So if you uncap, super easy to uncap. It already has tips in there, and these are the chisel tips. But you can change these tips out to, you know, brush tip or any of the other tips that you can get. But essentially how you fill these up is you unscrew one side and just kind of pull it out. And it has this reservoir sort of tucked into the section here. And what you essentially do is just place this into your ink and it will suck up the ink and essentially ink up your pen. So it will go through the reservoir to the tip and then you'll be able to use it. And so it's refillable because once it's dry, you can just put it back into your ink and re-ink it, or you can flush it or rinse it, not flush it, rinse it and flush it out and re-ink with another color if you wanted to. So it's kind of nice that the colors correspond to the highlighter color. So knowing me, I will probably ink them up with their corresponding colors, but you really don't have to, right? Because they're reusable. And so if you wanted to, you could ink it up with a yellow highlighter color, even if it's a purple sort of body, and, you know, do whatever you want. But I like to match my pen to the ink, so I'll probably match up the colors. Pawpaw Gal, how's it going, friend? We've missed you. Happy Wednesday. They are similar to the Lumos. Let me see if I have mine. 1 second, I'll get it. So this is the Lumos Pro Duo, and this is the Lumos Mini. And so the Lumos Mini is just one tip that you can add in there. You change out the tips if you want to. This is a fine liner tip, but you can put in a brush tip or anything else. And it works the same way in that you unscrew this and you can fill it up with any fountain pen ink. I say any fountain pen ink, but I would not recommend shimmer inks or anything that sort of has particles in it, because those could get clogged, or those could clog because they're getting sucked up into the reservoir naturally, or I think it's called capillary action, right? Like where it sort of travels up the reservoir because it's soaking it, not necessarily getting pushed through a feed like you could with a converter or something like that. So that is something that I would be aware of and be careful with. Is the Kokuyo Fine Writer worth $70? I don't have one. Is it? I don't know. Aw, sending good vibes to your dad. Hopefully tomorrow he's out. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so this is the Lumos Pro Duo, right? So that means it has two sides to it that you could use. So the first, if you unscrew the cap, you have one right away. Again, you can change out the tips. Then the second one is tucked into the back of the first, and so you have to unscrew the second one, and it's just kind of sitting right behind your first one. And so you could change out the tips. I have different colors on here. And I think this is 0.5 and this is 0.3, but my 0.5 is like a teal color, and then my 0.3 is a black color. And so, you know, you can use both sides. And the other thing you can do is if you're kind of like switching between the two tips, you can screw in the second side so that you can kind of, you know, you're writing something, then you sort of switch sides and continue or add something to it, etc. And so that's kind of cool. And initially when I got this, on one side I had a brush tip, and then on the other side I had a fine liner. And so that was useful because, you know, for planning in your planner or journal or whatever, I use my brush tip as like a header, and then I use a fine liner underneath for the details. And so it's kind of useful to have both on hand. So if you're traveling or you want to have this on the go, it's like 2 pens in one, refillable, and really kind of cool. So the difference between the Lumos and the Ori highlighter that I can see right away is that you can put one of these chisel tips into the Lumos, right? But the major difference that you can right away see is that this section, you know, where you can unscrew and put in the tip and stuff, it's all metal, whereas this is plastic. So it is not the same. You can't interchange the Lumos with the Ori because it wouldn't fit, and it's not the same sort of setup. It's made differently. So that's kind of cool and very interesting. And also the other thing is the way that the obviously the length is different, but also the way that you use the dual tip, right? So you have 2 caps on either end, whereas with the Lumos Pro, you have 1 cap and you have the second one sort of sitting in the first one. So that's, you know, that's another thing to kind of take into account in terms of differences. But otherwise, I mean, you could ink this up with any fountain pen ink that you could with a Lumos, right? So you could change out the tip to be something else. It doesn't have to be used as a highlighter, I don't think. I have to play around with it a little bit more, but from what I can tell, if you change out the tips to a writing tip or something like that, you could also, use this as like a highlighter writer, I guess, if you want to write or draw with brighter colors, fluorescent colors. So that shouldn't be a problem. Just obviously legibility might be an issue, but aside from that, I think that should be fine. Yeah, okay. You know what? It's a great question, right? Like, is a Kuratoga dive worth $80? The Zento signature, right? The Zento signature, which I don't have, but I could be tempted into getting, only because of how elusive it seems to be, and it actually looks kind of cool, the magnetic cap. So I will say it looks functional, but is it worth the price? I don't know, right? Like you kind of have to make that decision in terms of like, it's stationery, it's fun. It's not meant, like, there is functionality in stationery, but let's be real, right? Like, the stationery community is also about enjoying it, having fun with it. Yeah, splurging once in a while on things that maybe you don't need the more expensive version. Maybe you don't need to spend $80 on a mechanical pencil or whatever, right? But maybe you want to. And hey, as long as, you're not going into debt over it, or it's not sort of putting you out in terms of things that you actually do need in your life. If you can splurge every now and then on something, and that's the thing that's sort of stuck in your head and won't go away until you get it, sometimes it's, you have to do it. Not saying that those are the things you have to spend money on, but, we all have a version of something that gets stuck in our head, and we kind of just have to get it. For me, it's probably a plotter. I don't know. You paid $45 for yours at the pen show. Yeah. If you can get to a pen show, I find that usually you get a better deal. And if not, you get more variety at least. Usually, there's like the limited edition or event specific or event exclusive kind of things that they probably don't have online, or that you might not be able to source otherwise. So if you can get things at a pen show, I would definitely get it there. Yeah. Where's Brad to ask, have you seen my Zento signature? I wish I could say that. Have you seen my Zento signature? Because, that would be kind of funny. But I don't have one yet. So I'll just have to do it with other things. The coolest thing I do have on my desk is my Traveler's Notebook 10th anniversary cover. So I know a bunch of people are enjoying their 20th anniversary cute wallet cover, but I will just kind of enjoy looking at my 10th anniversary cute one. Ooh, I do have something I can show you. My Tombow dual brush pen stuffy thing. Plush character. So that's cute, right? It's so cute. It is not usable, but it's very cute to have on my desk. So that is the Ori, and I think we'll have time. What I think I'll do is I'll swatch the inks and we'll kind of play around with them, because I am very curious about highlighter ink. And yeah, so we'll play around with that. Obviously, I will do a more curated video. Well, maybe not obviously, but I will do a more curated video on the Ori system, like, the highlighters, the inks, whatever, how you sort of ink them up, etc. And that will go on YouTube at some point. But I kind of wanted to see what this was all about. So that's cool. The second thing I got, let me move these over here so they don't fall. The second thing I got, I was eyeing for a little while after they released it because it's really cool. The color is cool. The item I have, and it's the Lumos Mini, which I already have and I use on the daily. But this one I thought was really, really pretty and didn't get it because I don't need it. But with the discount, I thought, what a great excuse to add this to my order. And it's the Lumos Mini Sunrise Gradient. And this is not part of their usual lineup because their Lumos Mini, you know, you can get in sort of standard colors. But every now and then they release a gradient or like a special color or something like that. And so they have, or they had a sunrise and sunset gradient. So I'll show you on the site because the sunset was really nice too. And I was tempted, but I think personally the sunrise gradient is more my style. So that's what I went with. Well, it looks like they're both sold out. I'm sure people took advantage of the sale like I did to pick these up. So this is the Sunrise edition. And the sunset is really pretty too. It's this purpley pink gradient. And I thought, well, yeah, they're both really cool. So, but it is limited edition, so I don't know if they're coming back or if they'll just release a different gradient or color or, you know, a different version of it. But similar to what I just showed you with the Lumos Mini, it's one side, one tip, which you can change out. So when you get it, there's no tip in there. But what you do get with it is a set of tips. Packaging is always on point. So if you pick up or take out the insert that the pen sits in, you get all these little goodies in the back. Again, a little, you know, explanation of how to refill your pen or how to fill it. You also get a small vial of just black ink, which I have used before and it's great. And then again, the silicone grip. And if you're changing out tips or, you know, you kind of have to grab something that's inked up, it's very useful. And then you get a full set of tips for the Lumos, and you can use them in the Mini, you can use them in the Pro, and I think what you can do is use these. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that you can because I have to kind of play around with it. But I think what you could potentially do is use these tips, these writing tips, with the highlighter. But I don't know for sure. So I have to play around with it and check it out and see if you can. But all of these tips you can use with any of their Lumos. So you got fine liner tips that start at 0.1, sorry, 0.1. And then they go all the way up to 1. And then you got brush, chisel, bullet. And then you have 0.3 and 0.5 in these white tip writing tips. So it's kind of cool. And they essentially just look like this. And you stick those into this top section here, which will sort of fall into or insert into your reservoir, which you fill up with ink. So that's kind of cool. And what I did as well was, if you use these on a regular basis, or you want to change out inks, you can get, that's not it. you can get extra sets of things. So reservoirs, they also sell in, how many do you get in here? I think you get 5. You get 5 of the reservoirs. So if you wanted to sort of keep them in sealed vials, you could sort of interchange inks and change them out every now and then if you wanted to, for whatever reason. And then I also got extra fine liner tips, 0.5. Again, if you change out inks or you just want to kind of use them with different colors, that's kind of a nice way of doing it. So you don't have to constantly sort of flush them out and get rid of the ink before you re-ink them. So that's kind of fun. Very pretty. The Lumos Mini is a great size for pen loops in the plotter, for example, or other sort of pen loops that are meant for like ballpoint pens, or they're not as wide as you might want for a fountain pen. So it is useful to, if you do have one of these, it is useful in those kind of pen loops and plotters. And they are very portable. So that's how I use mine. Basically, you just throw them in my plotter. That's thinking cute, yeah. Yeah, I do have a kintsugi. I do. You're just learning about Tom Studio, so this is fun. Yeah, you know, it's the thing I love about Tom Studio is that Tom is constantly sort of pushing the bounds on using things over and over and over again. So, and everything that he sort of creates or makes is looking at sustainability and being able to use it for as long as possible. So yes, you can get, tips that you can sort of replace, as well as reservoirs and stuff, but cutting back on just, throwing out a pen or letting it sit there on your desk because you don't like the color that's in it. Being able to re-ink and refill and reuse things really draws me to trying out Tom Studio stuff. And a lot of the things too are like made out of reused plastics. And also, things that they source in terms of stuff like waste, stuff that just gets thrown out. And so they try and reuse those materials, and I find that just makes the product and tool a little bit more interesting. So that's a big reason of why I was drawn to their products in the first place. And probably a big reason why I keep going back to try out more things, because even if I don't need something like, a reusable highlighter, I still think it's good that there are makers out there that are kind of pushing the envelope on making these things anyway, and making them fun and, bright, colorful, cheery. I'm more likely to, pull this out versus, a cheaper highlighter, and kind of have fun with it that way. The other thing is this is metal, and so it's a little bit heavier than like your regular plastic highlighter. So I don't know if you sort of like weightier pens. I kind of do. And so, if you're kind of using this, I think it's very cool. I also think it's very cool that it's dual tip. So you do have 2 colors that you can play around with. So yeah, it just makes it a little bit different, very interesting, unique, and fun to play around with. Those colors are stunning, right? Yeah, I love the gradients too. Hi, G's. I love the gradients as well. Like, they're just really, really fun, really bright too. So, as much as I was thinking of getting the where you get all three, the yellow and the orange as well. I thought, you know what? I have yellow highlighters and they're kind of sitting there. I'm more of a colored highlighter person. So I think it's kind of cool to be using fluorescent pink or purple would be kind of cool too, I think. And the blue and green as well. So we'll see. I think they'll just make it a little bit more fun to highlight in my planner and stuff. So I have tried the Wren. I do have a Wren as well. The Wren is very cool. Similar to like if you are into pocket pens that have caps that you can just slip on and off and use. The blue and green combo always works well together. Yeah. Yeah, you need to pick up a Tom Studio pen. I didn't Tom Studio has been around for a little while, right? And the Lumos and the Lumos, the Mini, came out a while ago. And I just I didn't have a use for fine liners that I would just refill. But again, curiosity got the better of me. And I love that you can change out the tips. And also ink them with fountain pens. So if you have a lot of fountain pen inks, then this is a great way of using some of those, is to have, a fine liner that you can ink up with one of those fountain pen inks. And knowing us, we have inks that we love and we got for a reason. And so, why use a regular black fine liner if you can use a specific shade of black or brown or blue or whatever you kind of like to have in your fine liners, right? So yes, I like my regular, fine liners in different tips and having those with me, but I also kind of enjoy being able to use fine liner tips with my fountain pen inks and picking those out. I'm very excited about this. I just picked up a Lockbee 6-ring cover, which turns out is Bible size. Interesting. Yeah, try multiple papers in Bible size. It may turn into my to-go ink swatch journal. That's awesome. That's a great way of using rings too, is to have, a book where you can swatch things and be able to move them around too. Like if you don't have a system right off the bat, it's fine when you're using rings because you can move things and categorize them in a different way if you find later on that your collection changes or grows in a certain way, right? With colors and brands, etc. So, yeah. Yes, we are excited for you. And let us know how you do like it. Yeah. Yes, Tsukiko Aketsuchi. I love that it's sort of a mishmash of different inks that you like. But if you didn't know, it is spicy miso. And I'm always tempted to call you spicy. So if I do, just be aware of that. I'm so used to it, and it's all good. Tsukio is one of my favorite inks. So it's all good. You've been looking like that. You've been looking for something like that for a while. Yeah. I can call you spicy? Okay, awesome. I may. Yeah, the name change, right? Sometimes it throws people off. You're like, oh, hi, new person. But it is all good. We're allowed to change names. We're allowed. Okay, let's move on. I'll leave that there because I want to play around with the inks in a bit. But let me show you what else I got. Let's make room. Okay. This. And I think some of the wrapping I'm going to have to unwrap further away from my desk so your ears don't hurt. Okay, so that was Tom Studio, and this is Stationery Selection. So let's see. All right, Stationery Selection. Flower paintings with the highlighters, right? Yeah. Spicy miso is spicy. So Tsuki is like, it sounds a little bit mellow and tame for what spicy miso was. Same person. It's all good though. Tsuki will be as spicy as miso. Yeah, you made a new account to keep it separate. It's all good. Ro-Biki Notes are so nice. Oh, that's good to know, Archeopen. And you love Stationery Selection, April? Also, hi. Yeah, hi. How's it going, friend? Yes, I also love Stationery Selection. Though I've only ordered a couple of times just because they're based in Japan. Obviously, shipping, things to consider, right? So, but in terms of just the things that they have, the last time I ordered from Stationery Selection, I got patches. So they have superior labor patches in case you're, a patch person. But they have some really cool ones. I'll show you. Change yours to Spicy Hellcat. That would be hilarious. Hi, Needle Girl. How's it going? How's your week been? You use one for your tea journal. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you've only ordered a couple of times too, April. Yeah. But lovely items, and I like Mitz's journal posts. Yeah. Mitz seems like a really nice person too. So Stationery Selection is, let me just share the site with you, thestationaryselection.com. But so let's just patch, because they have the tiger patch. This one, the Superior Labor Tiger Patch, which is really cool. So I got, the last time I ordered from them, I got this black brown. The black brown? Yeah. The black brown. It's just more a little bit like gold, yellow. But I got that and I added it to my, oh, here's the blue. Very cool too. But I love this black brown look. I added it to my, let's see, to my plotter Bible size. And I used Tombow textile glue, which is just, it's really good glue. It grips it, it sticks, and so you put it on and it stays. So it's not going to come off. But the reason I did that is because I had this ink spill here. And I think I was inking up a pen, whatever. You know how it's sort of like sometimes you get a little bit of a ink sort of spurting out or whatever. And this perfect dot of ink fell on the bottom corner or the bottom sort of section of my plotter. And it annoyed me so much because I could see it and it's just this perfect sort of semicircle of whatever ink it was, a dark ink. And I had to cover it up because otherwise I would just hate looking at it. So got the patch and added it to it, and I love it. So if you are a patch person, I really like the Superior Labor ones. They're maybe not cheap, but I like the quality of them, and the design is really, really cool. So it looks amazing on the plotter. I like that look better now. It's kind of like, you know what? It's so good. We should add spicy to our handles. I love that, Papa Gal. From Spicy Corolla. Yeah. You'll handle that for, yeah. It's actually not that expensive to order from, it's not that expensive to order overseas when you take into account that you would be paying, like as a Canadian, I pay for tax on everything anyway. So it's more so the shipping costs that, like, obviously is going to be more expensive coming in from Japan or overseas. And so when the Stationery Selection had this incentive, like free shipping if you spend over X amount, I was like, yeah, you know what? I think there's a few things that I can get to hit that threshold, um, because I don't just buy things as I want things. I kind of have wish lists and lists going on so that once in a while I just kind of get everything and be happy with it. Spicy G's Crafties. I love that. That's so good. We should just all be spicy for sure. I love it. I think it works with all of the usernames. Spicy Pop Out Gal. You may have purchased patches for your TN covers, but you're scared to put them on. Yeah, I know. I hear you. It's like stickers but permanent, right? Like sometimes you put stickers on and you're like, oh, I can kind of take them off. But if you put textile glue and kind of, I would recommend probably finding a temporary way to adhere things, whether it's, removable adhesive, which Tombow has, but you can probably find just in general, or like using a clip or something like that. And walk around with your item, like walk around with your TN cover or wherever you want to put the patch. And just handle it, use it and see if it feels uncomfortable or awkward, because depending on where you put it on the cover, it might be in the way of your elastic or something. But the more you kind of look at it, handle it, at some point, it'll probably be like, yeah, I like it here, or no, this isn't going to work, right? There are so many types of Tombow adhesives. Yes, there is, Needle Girl. I'm on their creator crew, so it just means I create content for them for socials and on their site and stuff like that. But one of the perks is that they send me all of their products, and so I know there are tons of different types of adhesives you can use for all kinds of craft purposes, which is really, really fun and cool. Twitch wouldn't accept it. You wanted to put spicy and akebi as a whole. Oh, it was too much. Okay, gotcha. Your only issue with the traveler style notebook is it doesn't lay flat. Yeah. So with the travelers, yes, you can either use clips. I think that's what most people end up doing, is they clip on both sides to kind of weigh down the covers. The other thing you could do, which I have done with a couple of my covers and it works, is when you first get it, what you do is you open it up, lay it flat with the cover side up facing you, and you roll it. You essentially roll it like a mat from one corner to the other corner, and then you unroll it, and then you do it again, and then you sort of massage. I know it sounds weird, but you sort of massage the cover because it's stiff. And so if you continue to use it the way that you would a cover, it will just keep that form. So one way around it is to kind of, massage it or maneuver it a little bit and stretch it out and use it, so that it becomes a little less rigid, I guess, right? So the more you do things like that, even though it feels awkward and like you don't want to ruin your cover, right? It is leather, so it can take use. So it can take, you folding it or whatever. But always do it in a gentle way, so that you're not damaging it, but you're kind of like encouraging the form to change a little bit, which usually does over time, right? With years of use, your cover tends to be a little bit more malleable, if that makes sense. But you can also kind of encourage it along. You're still finishing your current rebrand, geez, I know. The way we kind of get stuck on usernames is like, and then all of a sudden it changes and you're like, who are you? Even though it's a small change, it's like, wait. I'm so used to seeing it a certain way and it looks a certain way. And sometimes the color is like, you know, a certain color. But like this idea is like, I do iron them on or use glue. Yeah, you can do either, but you put Tsukiko instead of Tsukiyo because you like the name. Yeah, it is cool. When I first saw your name and I didn't realize you had changed your name, I was like, that is such a cool Japanese name. And I was like, wait, it reminds me of obviously elements of, you know, inks and other names that we've seen and heard, but I initially I was like, that is such a cool name. So good on you. You picked the right name. It will just take a little getting used to, which is fine. Spicy Tsukiyo. Yeah, you paid homage to your favorite inks, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, because it is leather, so you can play around with it a little bit. But that being said, you know, a TN cover, you do use a certain way, right? So you close it up, you use the elastic to keep it in place, and maybe, you know, get rid of the elastic for a little while you're sort of using it at first. And then that way you're not sort of forcing that cover to stay closed so that when you open it, it sort of wants to fall back on, you know, itself. But I don't get why you can't change display name. Yeah. You're in love with MD cotton paper? It is really good paper, for sure. It is high quality. Yeah. Okay, so what I did want to show you on the stationery selection page, and maybe actually, let's open the things that are not part of the stationery box first. Sorry. So, Ro-Biki Note is from Yamamoto Papers, and I have seen these notebooks before. Yamamoto Papers tends to go to the SF Pen Show. They were at the Stationery or SF Stationery Fest as well, and so I've seen their notebooks before, but I haven't really used them. Probably because I don't really have a purpose for them. I use the Traveler system, and so the notebooks are similar in size, except that they're, let me show you. So this is the MD cream insert for a Traveler's notebook. So it is the same height, except that it's missing a little bit in width. Right, so it's narrower, which is like, it actually makes it a little bit more portable for traveling or, you know, just sort of tucking it into a bag or whatever. And the paper too is, it's really, really nice paper. I think their more recent ones they use Soliste paper. I don't know if it says it here. It just says Yamamoto paper, but I don't know, maybe. And the cover is really cool because it's like a wax cover. So it's not thick, but it is also, it feels durable. So it's not gonna easily rip. So that's cool. 60 pages of this paper. It's an off-white, closer to cream than white, I think. But I don't know if it's as, let me see. It's actually pretty close to MD cream. So that's cool. Can't wait to try out the paper and just kind of see. It feels very nice, but yeah, I mean, it would be really nice. So I got 2 of these, and they're both different map covers, which I thought is really cool for traveling, you know, doing travel journaling and stuff like that. So spicy Hellcat. Oh, that's so good. Hilarious. Olive Octopus. How's it going, Lisa? Thanks for the sub. I appreciate you. Oh, so good. Just put spicy. If you want to join the spicy crew, spicy miso group, add spicy to your name. That's so funny. I guess narrow would be the right word. Yeah, I guess so, right? Is there a size that's like this size? Because I don't think there's a standard size for this. But it probably is something that's like in between standard, like a TN standard size. And it's not as wide as A5 Slim, right? It's narrower than that too. So I don't know. It's a standard slim. Yeah, you may need to get more MD cotton notebooks, Papa Cal. Yeah, I hope your dad does well. I hope he gets better and recovers nicely. And hope it doesn't take too long to recover as well. You're glad you're influencing people in a good way. I love it. It's just a bit of fun. Lisa, yes, Olive Octopus. Do you know what kind of paper these Ro-Biki Notes use? Is it Solistes? Or is it like, is it the more recent notebooks that they've changed the paper? But let us know if you know. You really like the narrow ring bound, Derek? So I guess that narrow tall combo is not for me part. Yeah, Solistes. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So looking forward to trying it out. But I also got the cover, the Ro-Biki Note cotton cover, canvas cover, made of cotton. That looks very cool. And it looks very sort of portable, you know. And they also show that you can use 2 notebooks, which I probably won't, but if you wanted to set them up, you can use it. So let me just take this off. Okay, so cover, and it has an elastic sort of enclosure, which actually comes off. So you may not even need to use it if you don't want to, which is kind of nice. Oh, and they include elastics, or at least one, to if you wanted to use a 2 notebook system, so you can combine them. And it feels very nice. Great quality. But it's essentially like you get a zipper to add pens or whatever, sort of pouch here, and then you have 2 pockets that you can put pens or, you know, other tools in there. And then you have this flap. So that's where you can add your notebook. And have that on the go. So that's kind of cool. Like you could use this as like a wallet type of thing. when you're traveling, and then take notes and stuff like that. So I wonder if, yeah, it's probably just wide enough to add your back cover to. And if you're going to put 2 notebooks, then it's a similar setup as a traveler's notebook, where you could put the elastic and kind of put it through the middle and then attach it to your second notebook. So just put the elastic through both middle, or, you know, where you kind of feel comfortable putting them. And then have those 2 attached as well. It's not a tight fit. Like there's enough space to kind of do this. So, very interesting. I was just kind of curious about it. And then you have this elastic, which you can kind of keep everything enclosed. You could also probably use this as a pen loop and put a pen in if you wanted to, or tuck other things too. Because we like to carry a lot of things, so so that's fun. Yeah, what a fun setup. Thinner than Travelers, yes. Well, how many pages is the 64? So this, the Ro-Biki Note, let me just grab one, is 60 pages. The paper itself, because Midori cream is a little bit thicker, it feels thicker. So I think that's probably why you have just like a slight, maybe, and you have 4 extra pages in the Midori, the MD insert, for travelers. So, I mean, you know, you probably save a little bit of space, but oh, it's chiffon cream or something before. Interesting. Yeah, Ro-Biki is Yamamoto paper. You're spicy for 60 days? Oh, spicy Hellcat. Well, you know what? For 60 days, we're calling you Spicy Hellcat, so enjoy it. That's too funny. New chiffon cream paper. Okay. The inner pages use a premium warm-toned ivory paper with a weight of 80 GSM. That's what Google says, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Gruffalo or Gruffalo. Yes, I also learn things from this community. I love that we can share, you know, what works for us and stuff. You need A5 Slim, though it is what I'm using at the moment. Oh, the Gruffalo A5 Slim is great. Interesting. Yeah, it's not cheap. Oh, I influenced you. That's awesome. Good influences only. Okay, so I'm gonna unwrap and take out what is in the sub box. So just give me a second. Oh boy. Okay. We got it. We got it. All right. This is the February 2026 Stationery Selection box. Oh, very small writing. But it's cool because it goes through each of the items. So I decided to grab a couple of boxes, even though I think they're now sold out on the site. Yeah, so this is it. Oh. I like that they show what's in the box after it's released and after it comes out and stuff. So you can kind of decide if you like the items. So that's what I did. I kind of looked through it and I was like, okay, this looks very interesting. So things that I, haven't seen or come across before. So I thought that was very cool. So there's a Ro-Biki mini notebook, spiral bound with perforated pages. Oh, interesting. Okay, so a mini notebook, cream paper. Feels nice, feels smooth, and it's perforated, so it's great for like on the go notes and stuff like that. Oh, and then in the back they have 1, 2, 5 of these little transparent sleeves, so you can add things. That's very cool. I've seen this style before where it's like mini notebooks with sleeves in the back. That you can add photos or, little bits in as you go, as you travel, or if you're out. Maybe receipts, I don't know. That's very cool. I like that. Then there's also, because the paper is like a yellowish, it's cream, but like a dark cream. They have correction tape that's the same color, so that makes a lot of sense. 4mm. So I know you can get like cream colored correction tapes and stuff like that, especially if you're using like Hobonichi Weeks or Midori or MD notebooks, and you need correction tape for that. But then there's this cute little keychain pouch. We like cute things. We like small things. That's very cute. A little pouch. Then we have a zebra mini pen. Oh, the perfect pen to slide into the rings of the Ro-Biki mini notebook. Ooh, yeah. I guess you could, right? Very cool. Also, if you have a pen loop that you just can't find a pen to fit into it, this is the type of pen you would need, I think. Right? Something that's something that I already broke. Let's try it anyways. Oh yeah, it's like super slim and pretty small, but it writes fine. But now I can't get the knock to work. Well, oh, there we go. You know what? It's finicky because it's so slim and so dainty that you have to be just a little bit extra careful if you're using it. But very cool, very cute. I probably should have washi taped it to try and get it to come back down, but that's okay. Paletone. Sticky little sticky notes or stickers. What could you use this for? Sticky tabs. Okay. That's very cool. Sunstar sticky tabs. So it does kind of show in the back. You can use it, I guess you can add color to dates or things to make them stand out. You can use them as tabs, but it's just kind of a cool, you know, cool form. You got the A5 Roterfaden. Flowers, love it. Graphilo notebooks. Are you enabling us on the Graphilo notebook, Spicy? You got some of those Palatone? Yeah, I haven't found a good use yet. You know what? It's just very like artsy, right? I feel like this is something you carry around to like meetups or shows or something, and you're just like, you can take it out and you're like, oh, let's do some journaling. Let's add some sticky tabs on things. And people are like, ooh, what is that? Candy, which I don't know if I think all of the Stationery Selection subscription boxes include, you know, a little token candy or some sort of sweet treat, which, you know, is very cool. And then we have the Kawaguchi Thread and Mini Loom. The other thing I really appreciate about the Stationery Selection is that Mitz usually or always posts videos of like the unboxing of the sub box and then explains the things. So, you know, I like that there's a printout, but also there are videos on the Instagram account that goes through it. So it says here, I stumbled upon this product while I was shopping with my friends at a yarn shop and thought it was such a cute kit. I would like to make a coaster or possibly a neck strap with a loom. This may be a project that it will take many months in the making. I love that. So it's a mini loom kit. So you can make like, you know, small things, small projects and stuff like that. Very interesting. We might have to do this on stream one day. I don't know. That's very cool. You'll second enable for craft. Well, look, maybe I have to pick one up and try it out. If the consensus is that it is good paper and good notebooks, I'll have to do it. Okay. Then I'm gonna take the stuff out of this package. Down here. Okay. So this is the March 2026 Stationery Selection box. There's quite a few things in here. So let's see. First thing is a Maruman sketchbook. So the paper is this textured sketch paper. And I like that it's ring bound as well. So it's kind of easy to use and portable. And it's not too thick, so. You can use it with paints. So it says, I tried out the Uni watercolor pencils on the paper to make sure it would be a good fit for the pencils. So that's the second thing. Uni watercolor pencils. So let's see. Okay, so it comes in this little case. There we go. So you got the pencils, you got a sharpener, you got a water brush. We like good water brushes. Portable water brushes too. And then a cap. Is this for one of the pencils? Maybe. Very cool. Kind of excited to try these out too. So apparently you can use them in the sketchbook. So maybe we'll do that one day. Then you have point liners, so I guess fine liners, Pentel, 0.03 to 1. Oh, there we go. That's very cool. There we go. It's okay. Oh wow. Yeah, that's the one. Water and fade resistant. Very cool. Then, so this is the little treat in this box. I don't think it says on here what it is. And then a Stalogy mechanical pencil, 0.5. I didn't know Stalogy made mechanical pencils. Interesting. Says there's a huge mechanical pencil boom amongst the students here. I know this one will go into my son's pencil case, LOL. Okay, cool. Feels really, I like the, this is silicone type of body. It's easy to grip. You got a little eraser too. Nice. You were about to say exact. I wonder who makes the pencils for Stalogy. Jet Pens carries them. Okay, interesting. Oh, nice. So Gentleman Stationer carries Graphilo. Graphilo? Oh, I like the covers. Hi Inky, I use little dots like that to date my notes. Write the date in the colorful blob and stick it to the top of the page. Of course. That's a great way of using it. It's just enough space to write something small. So it's a great idea. I like it. You got little sticky notes when you went to the stationery store, Spicy Hellcat? Spicy Hellcat. And ones that look like a raccoon. That's so funny. Trash pandas. Looks like Nitomes is the maker. Aha. Let's see if it says. I do like though. Okay, yeah, these are the pencils. Awesome. Nitomes. Trash pandas, yeah. Raccoons are the unofficial mascot of Toronto, Ontario. Just FYI, because they are everywhere. And I have found, living in BC, they are much larger on the West Coast. I don't know why. Maybe because they have to compete with bears, but they are larger. And there was one time where a raccoon was sauntering along our fence, top of the fence, while my husband was barbecuing, and obviously, you know, smelled something yummy and came over. And my husband had to use the tongs to kind of scare him away because they don't get scared. They're kind of like, huh, you know, I'm here. What do you have for me? So yeah. Trash pandas. They are cute though. It's just they are a lot of trouble. And you know, they travel in packs, right? Like there's families of raccoons that if they find a place that they can find food and they know that there's food there, they will come. They will come in packs. And it's kind of intimidating and scary, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if they would attack you or they just kind of like try and swat food out of your hand to try and get it. I don't know. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought of them being bigger. Same. Because they are pretty, you know, they're pretty hefty. They must think they're part human, right? Yeah. They are pretty hefty. And yeah, it's kind of funny. So I left this to the end because this is the reason why I wanted to order from Stationery Selection for months. And I didn't because, you know, I wanted to kind of hold off until I had enough to sort of, you know, warrant shipping and all the other things. But that being said, just like, you know, you get, this is what I love about supporting small shops and, you know, makers and people who make this community what it is they always kind of go the extra way to like add notes and add little ephemera that now go into my journal, right? Like I actually use this stuff, so feel free to throw in extra bits and bobs and ephemera and stickers and stuff like that because I will use it. It looks like tea and it looks like yummy stuff. Oh, so good. Makes me want to go back to Japan for sure. So what I ended up getting on top of the other things, let me unwrap this. Is I've been really curious about Roterfaden. And, you know, I've seen a lot more about them and you know, there are various sizes and styles and colors and things like that, but nothing really stood out to me, especially because I'm pretty picky about the size I would want. You know, I have TN covers, I have plotters. in different sizes. I have pouches and journal sort of zip covers as well that I can use in A5 and everything in between. So I wanted to get something in a size that I would actually, use in terms of, I have notebooks in that size that are kind of daily use notebooks for me. And so I saw that the Stationery Selection partnered with Roterfaden and made an A6 cover in the Taschenbegleiter. And I don't want to rip that sticker too much. And so I had to get it to try it out. And this is the Stationery Selection collab cover. And I like it because it is black. It is very, it doesn't stand out so much in that, there's different colors and things going on. And I like that the cover blends in with the spine, which I've seen in others kind of stands out where you can kind of notice that this is different than this. And I don't know, to me personally, I just like that the cover is seamless, almost seamless, looks a little more seamless with the spine. So when you're looking at the external side of the cover, it's all just like black, feels really, really nice, smells really good. That's a great thing about unboxing a leather product. And the inside is a merino wool, which is really, really soft. Oh yeah, so you get all the info, all the things. I love this postcard. Very cool. But it's very soft, very gentle on notebooks, right? It's not gonna scratch up your covers or anything like that. And it's also durable, so it will last for a long time. There's a flap in the front cover and one in the back. And I think in one of the photos, let me look it up on the site, there was a notebook, I think, tucked in the back, which I thought was a great idea. Let me just show you. So, this is a collaboration A6 size. And so it's smooth leather, black leather, felt light gray, the inside of it, 3 clip pairs, black elastic. So, oh wait, am I showing it to you? Okay. So, the whole purpose was to see what the photo was. I totally forgot why I was, okay, so let's look at the photos real quick, because I think there was, in one of them, maybe not in these ones. Maybe it was on the Instagram, but in one of the photos that I saw, they had tucked a little notebook in the back. And so there's different ways of using it, obviously, right? Like you can hold different things if you're using it as a wallet, or you have cards and other things sort of put into the pockets. How much was it? 200 Canadian. Spicy Hellcat. Which is why I sat on it for months. But I feel like I love the idea of the system. And, obviously Derek, Lisa, I talked to Joe from the Gentleman Stationers at SF Stationery Fest, took a look at his system and how he sort of uses his Roterfaden covers. And I really like this idea of the clips, but never really had a use case for it, just because I use, different systems that provide the same sort of flexibility and portability, but not in the same way, obviously. So not using this clip system. And I thought it was really, really cool and something I should probably try just to, you know, be aware of how the system works and compares to the other systems out there. So if you're into traveler's notebooks or plotter or rings in general, or a traveler's type of setup, how that kind of would compare to if you were using clips. And I always kind of wondered about whether it would be like if I would keep my notebooks in the cover while I'm using them, or would I have to unclip them every time I wanted to use them, take them out of the cover, put them back in. And so I'm kind of looking forward to testing it out that way, in terms of if I were to travel with this. And that's the other reason why I got an A6, is because it is, a travel size, while also keeping at least 3 slim sort of notebooks. So really excited to try this out. And obviously, I've watched a lot of videos and a lot of content about how people are kind of using theirs, and how much you can put in it as well, because I obviously don't want to overstuff or put too much in there that it's not useful. So yeah. Yeah, I do have Pop Out Gal. I do have new amazing goodies to play with. It's been a while since I did sort of probably since the SF Stationery Fest, where I did kind of like a bulk, a big unboxing, or, here's a bunch of things I got. So I'm kind of looking forward to looking through it, or to using the stuff, and especially like the stationery boxes. Like I said, I don't really get subscription boxes, but these two, I felt like there was enough stuff in there that I would definitely use and at least try. So nothing disappointing, which, you always kind of take that risk. But Lockbee just dropped ringed binders too. Derek, your Roterfaden is your pen making notebook now with a Graphilo A5 Slim and TN dot grid insert. That's very cool. That's like a project manager, system. Yeah, Roterfaden is pricier than Plotter. Yeah, I mean, look, I think because there's so much that goes into the quality, the making, the different materials and stuff like that, I'm sure the price has gone up just because things are pricier now. So it's definitely not for everyone, and definitely not something you would just get just because you want to give it a go. But it's also one of those things that I've been eyeing for a while, and I do want to try it out in my system. So, things that you have to think about and consider is, of course, size. It's very, not limited, but depending on where you can get it from, they may not have the size that you're comfortable with or use most often. And that's something to think about. The other thing is obviously the clip system. Like if you're not into this type of system, then you probably won't like using it, or you probably would find it a little bit of a, setback. And like I said, I kind of have to play around with whether I can use notebooks while they're in the clips versus taking them out, like what it sort of feels like. And if it seems like they're very easy to kind of clip in and out. So I don't think that would be an issue to have to take out books if I'm writing in them, journals and stuff like that. Or, you could put booklets in here and have them as reference or project notes and stuff. So I like that use case as well. Also having this elastic in the front, or, to enclose it. Not necessarily something you need to do probably, unless you're kind of carrying this around or putting it in your bag. But yeah. feels really good. Feels, you know, I can tell it's really high quality. Obviously, it's German made. It would be, but it also feels like that. It doesn't take away from what it is at all. So I hope it works well for me too. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'll definitely report back. Obviously, I'll do a more curated YouTube video as well, with my setup and how I intend to use it. And then I'll do reviews and recaps as I go. Takes Bible size refills. Ah, that's why you got it. Interesting. That's why you're going to use it as a swatch book, maybe? The ring diameter is bigger than Raymay and Plotter. Okay, got it. The Lockbee ones, right? Okay. Interesting. They were definitely worth it. It was a bit confusing, but certainly opens up possibilities outside of Plotter and Roterfaden. Yeah, there are alternatives, and I think it's just sourcing them out, right? Like being able to find it and being able to get it. And then also knowing that a certain size or a certain design works better for you than what's out there, right? Interesting, Derek. You've switched to Me Plus Narrow from the Bible, from the Plotter Bible. They don't all come with a closing strap. Yeah. And I've seen the thinner ones, and I actually talked to Joe about it at the SF Stationery Fest in terms of this elastic. And I think one thing he mentioned was they have covers with the thinner elastics that are designed differently. So the thinner elastic, it actually, it's sort of in a zip pouch section. So you get like a zip pouch. I'm just repeating myself. In the back cover. And if you unzip, you can sort of remove the elastic. So you can use it with elastic or not. And you can also replace those elastics with different colors, or, you know, if it rips or whatever, something happens to the elastic, it's easy to replace. Whereas these thick elastics, they are sewed into the cover itself. And so if something were to happen, and, you know, they are meant to last for a long time, they are durable, and they're not made cheaply. So if something were to happen, or, you know, just with use, it stretches out or, you know, pops out or something, it's harder to replace this, right? And you sort of have to send it back to Roterfaden, or if you know of someone who can fix it for you. Otherwise, Roterfaden would have to kind of like do it for you, where they they kind of put in a new elastic for you. Whereas the newer, I guess, or the different variation of the cover with the thinner elastic is similar to like a TN cover. It's knotted or somehow affixed to, it sort of slides into the back zip cover. So you could take it out, change it out, not use it at all if you don't want to, etc. But, you know, we'll see. So that was the thing I learned about the elastics, and it was really great talking to Joe about it, because, you know, I obviously was trying to decide what color, what size, what style, right? They have different styles as well. Not all of them have the same kind of inner flaps or inserts for cards and other things you might want to, pen loops and other, you know, and some of them also, the clips, the amount of clips that you get vary. So I think, you know, I saw a couple of covers that had 2 clips versus 3, etc. So it just kind of means that either you can have more or less notebooks, or they have to be slimmer so that you're not, you know, overstuffing a cover like this. And you kind of have to take into account the thickness of it because of the wool. That itself takes up a little bit of that space. So it's not, you know, it's not as slim as other covers out there. So definitely things to consider, things to think about, for sure. Yours all have the thinner elastic, all of Octopus? Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah. We'll have to see how this kind of performs in terms of just daily use, right? Like taking off elastic, putting it back on, etc. So, but I'm excited to use it. I've obviously heard a lot about them and a lot about these covers, and I'm excited to compare and contrast this type of system because it's more than just a cover, right? Like it is a system of using your notebooks, keeping them all in one place, protecting them, and having them there ready to use as you need them. So all of those things kind of play into whether or not something like this would work well for people. And for some, it won't. So I always kind of fell in that, like, I don't know if it would work for me, but I think I wanted to give it a go. So yeah, exactly, Derek. If something were to happen with the elastic, you kind of have to get it looked at by Roterfaden versus the other one, for sure. You're not supposed to overstuff them. Lisa. Maybe with your elastic you'll be okay though. I feel like this would be very limiting. Though, I mean, you don't have to use the elastic, so that's another option, right? It can just sort of sit there. And you can have more notebooks. Oh, what I did want to do in the last like 5 minutes before Brad, I think Brad's supposed to be streaming or in 5 minutes. So we'll do our usual rate. But this is my Enliba cover, which is really, really nice. I really do enjoy this. It has 5, pen slots, and it's very soft and great quality. And this is the A6 size, so you can put in A6 notebooks. But it is a bulky pouch type of system, which I like for travel, but I don't necessarily need to constantly carry everything together. So what I wanted to try out was putting in my Midori notebook and booklet. So this booklet I use for swatching inks that I'm going to write with in my Midori or my MD notebook, especially because my other, like where I do my ink swatches are different paper, right? Like there'll be white paper or TRP or something like that. And so I have this specific one for my MD notebook. But yes, I don't know if you can put in, very simple. I think, Lisa, you told me or you sort of mentioned that you can adjust the clip height as well. So I kind of have to play with that, maybe. But yeah, very simple. I don't know if you want to put 2 like planners in here, but it's definitely like size-wise. I'll have to fit it in. That's fine. And then I could maybe put in another booklet. I don't know. I assume, it stretches with use, right? And it will sort of be a little bit more forgiving in terms of how much you put in here. But just because it has 3 clips does not mean you could potentially add in 3 full-sized planners. I don't know. Now that I'm looking for new work, I've been thinking about my next work planner notebook. Yeah, that's definitely one way of looking at it, Papa Gal. All this notebook and cover talk has me excited. Yeah, there's so many options out there, right? And it's kind of nice to see other people use it first before you have to kind of decide, or before you sort of decide on a system to try out yourself. But I think it helps to know how things work, what they're great for, what they may not be the solution for, and then figuring out your needs. So how do you use your notebooks? How many do you use? And how flexible do you need the system to be? And then portability as well, like size-wise. What size do you feel comfortable with? What are your sort of go-to notebook sizes? So all things to consider, but it kind of helps when other people try out different styles, different sizes, for you to kind of figure it out as well, right? How long will it take for me to stop calling it Midori, right? Little Dragon Teacher. Me too. And I have listened. I have listened to the Pen Addict and April podcast, okay? And I'm still kind of confused. I just know that I'm just going to throw in MD every now and then because, it's MD products or MD paper products. But I'm just going to throw that in and hopefully it's fine. Oh, Lisa, you keep a traveler's folder in the A5 Slim and 2 notebooks. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, traveler's folder. Yeah, folders are a good idea. 2 notebooks. So maybe like I could do a notebook, a booklet, and a folder, and then have some things. We'll see. Joe can cut it. Yeah. You were tempted, but you don't need it. Until you hear more about these. I'm just kidding. If you don't need it, you don't need it. Yeah, you can live without it. Yeah. It's more so, either you've been using a system for a while and so you kind of want to try something else, or the system you're using doesn't really work for you. So I assume, has Brad gone live yet? I assume he will at some point. Yeah, I see he's live. Ooh, and a Ro-Biki inside the folder. I see. So we're adding notebooks into folders. I got you. Amazing. The more you can get away with, the more you can add to it, right? So I'm sure I'll kind of push this cover as well to see what it will hold and what feels comfortable and stuff. So I'll definitely keep playing around with it. Always awesome finding something that works for you. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Okay. Using the same set of clips. You're using the same. Oh, that's hilarious. So funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, obviously, I don't want to damage anything right off the bat, but I do want to see, how much he could sort of fit in and how much. Like, it seems very. It does seem flexible in that way that it can sort of, fit around your notebooks. But I'll see. I'll play around with it. This will be fun to see when it comes together. Yeah, same. It is a fully functional stationery store. You have a fully functional stationery store system going on, Lisa. All right. It was so good to see you, Papa Gal. Have a good meeting. Have a good rest of your week. You can confirm that Lisa's Roterfaden is full. Have you brought it to a pen show, Lisa? Because I feel like you may have to show us on stream or like elsewhere how your system is set up. Okay, I'm gonna set up this raid, and then we'll head over to Brad's stream, and we can ask him what he thinks about Roterfaden and what system we know Brad uses the plotter system, so okay, starting raid. So I'll see you over there. Thanks so much for being here, friends. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care. All right. And I'll see you in other streams as well. Bye, friends. Take care. Go play with stationery. Remember, be kind to others. Be kind to yourself as well. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you in the other streams. And yeah, have fun with your stationery.